Hey, I'm Carlos Garcia, and today we're going over some, I don't know, possible top 25 bottles. I'm sure this is definitely going to make it. But these are some newer bottles I got into my hands and need to check them out to see if they're worthy to get into my top 25 list. Now, people are already putting out their top 10 and 5 list already. You know, I'm still buying, so there's still 2025 releases being released. So my list will be coming out in January. It's a mad dash over the next couple weeks to get anything I want in that tournament reviewed, or at least tasted at some point. I picked up this Russell's Reserve Single Rickhouse Camp Nelson E, and obviously I did the Wild Turkey versus Jack Daniel's Distillery matchup. This is the one from Wild Turkey I didn't have, but I was able to get it on my trip to Indiana. Everyone's saying it's really, really good. I have not tried it, and if you're new here, once I get a bottle that I know I'm going to review, I immediately put it into one of these 2-ounce samples because I do the giveaway, so I'm just doing the sample for the sample giveaway. So it gets some air in it already. So obviously it's from that in today's pour. Another bottle I haven't tried yet and I picked up at the same time is this Yellowstone. This is a 2025. The anniversary edition's 10 years. Usually these aren't that wonderful or good, but I did pick it up. I figured, you know, why not? I buy everything else, why wouldn't I buy this special release too? And this is another one I put in a 2-ounce sample. This Penelope Founders Reserve 13 year. This is the bottle that was part of the SLB collab blind. Now that was a fresh crack and a lot of people were still in the comments, you gotta try that again, you gotta try that again, it's really good. So I told everyone in the comments that I'm definitely gonna review it probably next week, which is this week, so this is the video. So we'll see how it does today. Obviously now it's got some air in it and we'll see if it's what people are saying or if it's how I felt about it the other day. And then this Four Roses, this is a 2025 limited edition. I got this 2 weeks ago and I got this through like a local liquor store lottery thing. They do it like every quarter, like 3 times a year. They kind of stockpile all their LEs, their higher ranked customers get to go in there and it's like a lottery. So I picked like around 25th. There were some really, like the Jack Daniel's Tangier was in there. There was the Van Winkle Reserve Family Rye went first, I think, or second for sure. But you know, they had a couple really good bottles, but you know, I fell down to 25 and you know, I had a couple different options, but I definitely wanted something that I could review for the channel, something that was released in 2025. And so I got this one, and obviously I try this. Usually when I win to buy one of the bottles in those lottery things, we usually hang out and drink afterwards. And I usually open up the bottle unless I know I'm going to donate it or something. I donated Elmer T. Lee to the Riley's charity earlier this year. I think that's what I won last lottery thing. I knew I was gonna open this up for the channel, so I'll let everyone try it that wanted to try it. And I do remember it being good, so we'll see. So I have high hopes for these two. This one, hopefully some redemption today, and this one, don't have too much high hopes for it, but maybe I love all 4 today. So let's get into the blind. But first, let's do a giveaway. The sound was on. All right, so this is for the Booker's 2025 video. So all 4 Bookers, all 2 ounces, and the winner is Eric Stat 547. I'm pretty sure you won in the past. It's been a while. Congratulations, email me. All right, so let's get to the nose on A. All right, so the nose on A is complex, but I wouldn't say it's overly good or bad or anything. There's no off-putting notes. It's just, I don't know. We'll get into the notes. It's nutty, strawberry Laffy Taffy, vanilla, red fruit, a nice wood note, and toffee. There's a nice like sweetness with that woody note, but it wasn't like very bright in your face. It was good. Now, like I'm going into this, I'm expecting good stuff from all 4. That's kind of my expectations going into this. Like these are all very expensive bottles. These are all pretty-ish rare. The Yellowstone's probably the easiest one to find just because it doesn't get any hype. So I could see that one kind of sitting on shelves, but the Russell's Camp Nelson E, I'm sure it's not on anyone's shelves. The Four Roses, again, maybe. The Penelope, maybe. They're all pretty expensive bottles too. So they better be freaking good. Okay, so B is very peanut butter heavy, but it's not very complex. So peanut, oak, peanut butter, sweet, slight crafty note, peanut butter cookies. I couldn't get away from this like peanut butter cookie note and I was trying to see if there's any like fruits, red, dark, like little crafty note kind of showed up. Yeah, it smells good. It does smell like a peanut butter cookie, which I just want to drink this with some milk. But it's not very complex. Again, nothing off-putting about it. We'll go to C now. Well, I will say all three of these have been very different from each other. So the C is really sweet red fruit direction, that red Jolly Rancher note, very bright, oaky, definitely different profiles. So one for, you know, everyone's palate of the nose. Everyone's nose preference. Let's go to D. All right, D. So D has a note I've never said before. I don't even know how to spell it. So a little crafty, nutty, and this nutty note was like all up in my head. A little bit of anise, which is that like black licorice note, but very slight. Most of you guys know I don't like that note. Mixed nuts, and then the word I couldn't spell, pistachio. So it was like, I eat a lot of mixed nuts. What I try to do is if I have a bag of just 4 or 5, 3 different types of nuts in there, I'll eat multiples of the same ones in a row so I can figure out exactly what those notes are for this, right? This is how I get the nuttier notes, I think, a little bit better because I eat a lot of the mixed nuts bags. As soon as I put this in the nose, I'm like, this is like opening up a bag of mixed nuts. And then I was like, man, there is something very specific in there that I don't think I've ever smelled before in a bourbon. It was like that pistachio note. So very interesting. Once again, all of these are very different from each other. So if the palates fall in line with that, it's definitely gonna be what am I feeling today. But all the noses pretty decent. So let's get into the palate. Ooh. Wow. Okay, so when I went to go sip a lot of tropical fruit, like mango in the nose, which makes me excited because that's not notes I usually get, but man, it was so strong. Quickly went back and nosed them real quick. If you're new here, I care a lot more about the palate and finish. Basically, that's how I score all my stuff. The nose is kind of just to help me guide myself to kind of see if the nosing and the palate's the same. One reason I do it, and this is a very honest truth here, I see a lot of people that just like nose things and they'll pick a barrel based off the nose without even tasting it. For me, I think that's ludicrous, but you know, they're professionals. I'm just a guy with a lot of bottles of whiskey. But sometimes I'll know something and it doesn't translate at all to the palate. You know, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. And that's kind of like why I nose it, is more just to see if it actually translates to the palate or not. And just to kind of see like how are these experts doing stuff like that, and then it doesn't translate. So you let me know if you know the exact answer for that. But it's just mind-boggling to me that happens. All right, so on the first sip, glass A is very strawberry forward, strawberry Laffy Taffy chapstick, which is strawberry chapstick type flavor. Red fruit, oak, strawberry and cream, vanilla. On the finish, nutty, sulfury, and strawberry. And the sulfury note's like that firework cracker note. It's slight. It's not crazy intense, because another note I don't really like, but it's not off-putting. The finish was kind of quick, but it is the first sip of the day, so we shall see. More of the same on the palate. Again, it's very strawberry forward. On the finish, a little bit more oak, vanilla. Decent finish. Wasn't quick, wasn't super long. A little weird note on the side of the tongue. Not really sure exactly how to describe it, but I'll figure out on the third sip. Okay, so the only new note I wrote was nutty on the palate, but overall, very nice oaky and strawberry balanced. Pretty good port. I do enjoy that. Off the top of my head, I'd probably score that around the 3.8, so not quite a 4. And I'm basically in my head going into this that these all should be 4 or higher based off of the allocation, rarity, price. So, but it's right up there. It's nothing mind-blowing to me. And again, on the finish, I'm still getting a weird like taste on the sides of my tongue. It's not my favorite, but overall, pretty decent. If this was, you know, much cheaper and easy to find, perfect pour. Okay, let's go to B. Oh boy, I don't really like B at all. Especially, again, I'm always gonna come back to how rare and pricey these are. This tasted young. None of these should be young. Crafty, yogurt, grainy, you know, younger type notes. On the finish though, I got some of those same notes, but it did get nutty and vanilla. So the finish actually was pretty decent, but I did not like the palate. But it's coming off of A, maybe A is just way older. I don't know. And maybe just made it seem young. So we'll give it a second sip like we always do. Okay, so on the second sip, I got red fruit peanut, but those youthful crafty notes were still there. They actually came after the fact. I was like, oh, okay. On the second sip, it's actually getting better. But then those crafty notes came in after those new notes. Poop. And the finish, again, still a little bit better than the palate, but overall, kind of disappointing, whatever this is. And man, today was not the video for disappointment. Today was not supposed to be this way. All right, the only new note I wrote was smoky / sulfury note. It's not my favorite. I'm gonna score like a 3.15. Going this way, when I go back and forth, I can always adjust, but kind of going off of just itself 3 times, it's not doing much for me. So let's go to C. B better than A and B. All right, C is delicious. This is a Red Jolly Rancher Red Fruit Bomb. So we got oak, Red Jolly Rancher Red Fruit, bright, very intense. Those flavors are attacking your taste buds. A little bit of nuttiness on the finish. Vanilla, red fruit, intense, bright, sweet, Red Jolly Rancher. So this is one that is exactly where the nose, the palate, and the finish all kind of match each other. It is very tasty. I don't want to say it's a one note wonder necessarily, because there is the oak with the red fruit sweetness. It's not much outside of that, but it is very intense. It's bright and it's delicious. More of the same. I wrote vanilla and sweet on the palate as well. Those are both notes I got on the finish. It's a lot the same on both. It is very good. I will say that C drinks spicier, hotter than A and B. Usually my wife, when she pours these for me, they're usually somewhat proof order. She knows how I like them, in proof order almost. I'm sure it's building up a little bit. Yeah, so that's really good. Again, it's not the most complex, but it is very intense, very bright. Like, those flavors hit you strong. But those flavors are the red fruits, all of them. Very sweet, Red Jolly Rancher. It's like you're sucking on a Red Jolly Rancher. Oak, some nuttiness there, vanilla. Really good. Honestly, my favorite out of the first 3. So let's go to D. Okay, D seems like more of a pour that you can sit down and dissect a little bit more, because it was going all over the place with notes and I couldn't even figure out some notes and a new note was coming. So I have a question mark on one of my notes. I had a really nice wood note. I need to figure out more of my wood notes. I wrote cookie with a question mark. I couldn't figure out exactly what cookie. I still can't figure out what cookie, even thinking about it afterwards. Maybe I'll figure it out in the second or third sip. It was a much darker profile. It's actually coming off of this bright red Jolly Rancher glass over here. Nutty, dark fruit on the finish. Mixed nuts, vanilla, spice. Did it wow me, like kind of seeded? No, not really. But it is very complex and it is very good. Let's see how the second sip goes. Again, a lot like the first sip, where it's a bunch of different notes. It's all good, just not the wow factor I'm looking for in any of these 4, or in any of these 4. That nice wood note, I kind of wrote something similar. Spicy wood note. These wood notes I gotta figure out. Vanilla, dark cherry, red apple on the finish. One more sip. All right, so nothing new on the palate or finish on the third sip. It does have a very long finish though. So A, D, pretty decent. C, definitely has a wow factor. B, a letdown. I'm gonna cut this out, drink some water, A, B, all these. I'm gonna see if I get any new notes and come back with some scores. All right, so that was actually way harder than I thought it was gonna be. I pretty much was actually scoring them as I went, which I usually don't do that. I changed a lot of the scores. Let's do the giveaway first. If you want to enter to win 2-ounce samples of all 4 of these allocated expensive bottles of bourbon, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment with capital letters FYRP. FERP? I just make up a new word. Capital letters. A lot of you new guys aren't putting capital letters. I see. I'm watching. The first letter of all 4 of these, I guess. I couldn't think of anything, so that's what I came up with. All right. So I was going back and forth. I do have new notes, which sometimes I usually don't anymore, because I just care about which one's better. But I do have some new notes today. So in last place, no shocking whatsoever, based off how we went through the Yellowstone. It scored a 3.15. it still tasted crafty to me. And for a 10-year-old product at the price point, I don't want craftiness. I don't want craftiness on a $60 bottle that's 4 years old. I definitely don't want those notes on a 10-year-old LE. But overall, it wasn't terrible. That was scored under a 3, but slightly above that. And really, the finishes will kind of say the Yellowstone. All right, so then we go into these, and these were all pretty good. We shall see if they all make it into top 25. I was telling my coworker earlier today, I was like, I probably have to go through 1,000 bottles before the end of the year to see what is actually in the top 25. Like, I need to go through every single box around here and make sure that I have, if it's a release that came out this year, to make sure I drink it before the end of the year. You know, things I gotta do around here. I know. No one's losing any sleep except for me. So anyways. So in third place is the Four Roses. And the reason, because it was probably in second place going through it, it went down a little bit. Actually, I kept it as a 3.8, but I started getting a little bit more of the anise note on the palate and finish. I did get more of a woody note on the palate as well. So a little complex, still pretty good. 3.8 is pretty good. It is the first time I reviewed it. I have Whiskey Cigar Club. You guys are watching this on Wednesday. I'm recording this on Tuesday. I have Whiskey Cigar Club Thursday night. All 4 of these will probably go into there just to get me another score. Because again, when I do my top 25 list, it's an average of the year. I like to review, especially some of the bottles that are like the top 50, multiple times to kind of see like, does it belong in the top 25? All right, so then it came down to these two, and you guys already know. The Russell's Reserve won it, but it got closer than I thought. So I scored the Russell Reserve a 4.15, no new notes, and that's actually what helped the Penelope. The Penelope 13-year-old, the State Collection, Founders Reserve. Does this have like a batch number or something that's like different than other ones? Let's see. It's 05896. I don't know how much that's gonna matter for stuff like that. This bottle, it's very complex. I got a peanut butter cookie on the palate, also tropical fruits on the palate. It is by far the most complex on the table. I scored a 4, so I actually went up. I actually leapfrogged the Four Roses, because originally I had a 3.75, but this kind of got right around the same, little bit lower, but I kept the same score. This kind of just elevated, because this is a nice complex pour. I can see why when I had it the other day with SLB, why it came lower, but it is a decent pour. I'm curious on how it does on Thursday. So we'll see if it actually makes it or not, because I just remember I used the same notebook at SLB. I'm pretty sure I didn't actually write down which one was which. I'll have to actually check for sure, but pretty sure I had the Penelope in 4th place, which I gave it a 3.75. So the 3.75, if that's the accurate score, and then today's 4, I'm pretty sure all my top 25 is gonna be over 4. I'll have to go through that. I haven't checked that. I was almost gonna do it earlier today, but I'll get to that. We're getting to the end of the year. You're gonna see a lot of videos like this where I'm blinding 4, possibly 6 whiskeys against each other. Friday is probably gonna be a rye blind. I have them like back there somewhere. I'll probably do that either later today or tomorrow. I definitely need to review some of these ryes for you guys, because I got a bottle that broke in the mail again. So if you guys know that story, you know what bottle I'm talking about. Anyways, let me know if you had any of these. Honestly, enter the giveaway to get 2 ounce samples of all 4 of these expensive and rare bottles, because that's what we do here. We share our whiskey. So don't do nothing stupid. And if you do, don't get caught. Bye.